So I guess we're going to kind of get into things. I'm joined with Wiz, Josh, founder of Sacred Tales, and I don't know if you want to go over, kind of the news that we have for people. Obviously, we're in a little bit of a down market. Bitcoin kind of shit the bed last night, and it doesn't really stop anything that we're doing. We can't control those things, but we have big things coming, and we're confident that we're going to be in the place that we need to. If you guys had a chance to see our banners that are coming, absolutely gorgeous. Timba Games has been doing some great stuff. So I'm kind of going to hand it over to Josh. He's going to explain some of the big news that we have, and then later on we're going to get into some giveaways and some stuff for you guys.
Absolutely. Apologies for the delay. I think we're running around 5 minutes late, but it was our first time on Twitch. There's a lot of things to learn. They make it a lot easier, these pro streamers. I'm just seeing glitch in the background in all of this crazy stuff. So awesome. So this is our first proper video AMA. We plan on doing these weekly on Twitch. Some amazing subscriber counts coming in already. I think we're up to like 55 subscribers in our first AMA, which is amazing. If you go back to some of these OG games when they were on Twitch, they started off just like this. All you have to do is, for example, go back to one of Axi's first streams. They're looking at 20, 30, 40 subscribers, and then as the months progressed and the game got bigger and bigger and it was ready to release, everyone came flooding in, right? So you're really, really early here. I know we say that a lot, but these just the pure fact of us engaging on Twitch and trying to kind of have that kind of gamer interaction, that kind of vibe, that feel. It's really exciting to be here. I'm going to start off and kind of discuss the past week that we've had. So as you guys know, we had a nice smooth launch, which I cannot understate how important that is for a token. It really is. If you have a bad launch, that can literally ruin everything. And I'm sure we've all been part of terrible launches before, and the confidence that you have in the team, kind of disintegrates if they can't get a launch right. Then how are they going to develop a game moving forward, kind of thing. So that was really important for us. That was really smooth. We ran really high budget CPMs over that first week. And then what it was kind of consolidation time, right? So, I look at it and I feel like I'm an investor myself in the project. Of course, I'm developing it, but, I feel all of those, and I'm sure all of our team, we all feel those emotions, when the charts are up, when the charts are down, it's something that we try not to look at in terms of price action in graphs and stuff, but we're all human, and we all kind of feel up when the charts are up, and we feel a little bit maybe dejected when the chart dips as well. And I think that's important to say because we're human too. We're behind it. We feel all of that. It's not just a case of they can do what they want. We're just going to build the game. It's not the case at all. Our goal is to get Sacred Tales out to as many people as possible, to get it put in front of as many eyes as possible as we progress with the development of the game and things like that. So we've been, just to kind of give you a kind of brief kind of background of what we've been doing this week. It's been a little bit quiet on the marketing front. We've we pulled the plug on heavy marketing spending this week as we were kind of all coming back to the table. What we have when you develop a game like this, there are different teams that are responsible for different parts of development. So you've got the art base, you've got and then into the art, you've got the character side of things, you've got the 3D modeling, you've got the UI mocks, the menu interfacing and things like that. Also like concepts of the meta world that we want to build, the city that we want to build where people can log in and meet up with other players and things like that. So it's getting all of these teams on the same page, funded, and keep it simple, stupid, please. I need to stop reading the chat because it's throwing me off. It's to simplify it. Basically, there's certain teams that are responsible for certain parts of the development, they need to be funded, pre-funded. They need to have sufficient funding, guidance, and they need to obviously understand the vision completely. So it's been a very kind of busy week for us, although it might not have seemed like a lot is kind of happening behind the scenes, is where the real kind of magic happens. Because at the end of the day, you can throw money at marketing as much as you want, but the game has to be developed, right? So
And if I could add to that too, guys, I mean, we spent like $10,000 on a week of PooCoin ads, and that's part of the goal, is just getting Sacred Tales logo in front of everybody that we possibly can. We definitely are still going to ramp up, marketing and sections, and kind of I've told you guys from the beginning, all of this stuff is in steps and layers, and it's all timing. So, when we have big news to bring, we're going to spend on the marketing side. But we've done this long enough to where we know if you just go and constantly push something, you're going to end up just wasting a lot of money unless you really have something good to give the people. And I think with the exciting news, with the studio and the amount of content that we're rolling in, especially you look at these new banners, of course we're going to show those off, and we're going to spend a lot of money doing it. And this Twitch is just kind of a stair step into where we want to be. Growing this platform, and of course, everything's going to look sharper. We're going to have backgrounds, things are going to look better. We kind of just been hurrying to get everything to you guys and done, but we also want it to look good. But the marketing side of things, because I see a lot of it, guys. I get a lot of stuff, where's the marketing? And it's sometimes it's really hard for you guys to see it, but we're doing it. We're constantly promoting and finding ways, either engaging in partnerships, or we're engaging streamers, or we're engaging YouTubers, or we're just looking at all different avenues. So when you're in Telegram, it's kind of like a small bubble, so don't think there's no marketing going on, because we've spent plenty of money in marketing, and we will continue to explore our options and ramp up our marketing side. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on that, guys.
Yeah, spot on, absolutely spot on. The thing that we really kind of raked our heads about, and if you're spending this kind of money on, your really high CPMs, having Sacred Tales on every 2 or 3 clicks on PooCoin, for example, there's millions of impressions per month. What's really essential is the fact that we take pride in our graphics. We're a very visual token, and the banners that we put up at the time, where we were working on a lot of other things with our art studio at the time, it was more important for us to, for example, get that website looking perfect and things like that. So, as the launch happened, and some of our artists, were taking off certain aspects of what they were already working on, we could then push them on, on heavy, professional looking kind of marketing. So the budgets we wanted to spend, we've put in a lot of money and time into making sure these banners are really, really essential, really, really perfect. There's so many things to think about, in terms of how can you get your point across to, someone who doesn't know what the project is, and it's very easy to, chuck money at an influencer and get a slight pump on a chart and things like that. And this is kind of the thing that I think the thing is with our project, I think a lot of people have been exposed to a lot of shitty projects, in my opinion, and they are, there's a kind of set structure for these shitty projects. It's, all guns blazing at launch, a decent volume comes in, they chuck the majority of that at, these pump and dump kind of influencers. The chart pumps, and then what happens is the chart crashes at some point, because that cannot continue 24/7. And that is the kind of thing that we're trying to kind of instill in people, is that we want people to kind of join our pace, because it's healthy for you guys, it's healthy for us. We're not going to rush and throw money down the drain. We want to bring in organic people that really like the project, not just people that are looking for a 2x or a 3x or whatever, So yeah, it's a different kind of ball game, really. And I think on the F side of things, that's a lot more tolerated due to like the gas fees and things like that. People they do generally have probably more patience than the Binance side. That's kind of why Binance gets the bad name it does. But regardless of what chain you're on, it's all about the developers and the team behind it, isn't it? So that's kind of, what we're trying to instill in people, and just to say, look, it doesn't matter if, we're not 2xing every week kind of thing. It's not about that. It's, when that game comes out and we put this in front of the millions of gamers out there, I think we all know that when they see this kind of art and when they see what we're building, they're all going to jump on board, regardless of whether they've been in crypto before or not. And that is at the end of the day, that is our goal, is to, completely blur that line, blur that kind of blockchain, what you think of a blockchain game compared to a AAA rated game kind of thing. That difference at the moment is so large. And, for us, it's our kind of priority to say to the world, the blockchain games can stand up to that, can stand up to those kind of, and rival those types of games. And the marketing for it becomes very cheap and very easy as well. When you take the blockchain advertising, spectrum out of things, prices can be divided by 10. You can outreach on Google Ads for just for advertising on the game aspect rather than a cryptocurrency for a lot cheaper to a lot wider a spectrum of people. Impressions per clicks and things like that. I think we were talking, Felix, weren't we, about just the different types of gaming websites that you can advertise on, and the budgets you can put on there, are so sustainable for huge outreach compared to what you could do in a day on PooCoin, for example.
Definitely, yeah. And another thing too, when we're talking about Binance Smart Chain tokens, and you're getting a lot of these projects that are pitching people a game, and I don't have the actual numbers, but in all reality, there's probably only 10% of them that are actually going to come through with a real game, because they do focus on the pump marketing. They get their investors in, they get them out, and then they go start something else. Total opposite of what we're doing.
Exactly.
We've already got our funding. So once that game comes out, like Josh said, that's when the real marketing starts. And we're also working on ways where we can incorporate like a cross chain. So if people are into Polygon and that's what they like, we're going to find a way to get them involved into our project. That's just big for overall expansion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yes, advertising on gaming sites, IGN, doing Google ad campaigns where we're targeting just gamers and just people that are into blockchain gaming is the marketing that some of you guys won't see, but it's going to be going on all the time.
And it's some of the most effective and sustainable marketing as well. I've just reading the comment from Naish, the famous casting couch. Sorry, man.
That's it. The bag's out.
The secret's out now, I guess.
And you look who got it, Snorlax. He's already there still.
That's it.
Tuckered out.
Legend. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the behind the scenes development that we've started to ramp up. Rather that we've obviously talked about like the marketing side of things quite in depth, and I think the majority of people kind of understand where we're coming from. When these banners finalize tomorrow, I don't know if you guys have seen them in the news channel, but they're looking amazing, incredible. I don't know how people won't click on them, and that's the goal, isn't it? Is to make it so people can't just skim past it. So yeah, to talk about the development side of things, so we've signed a full partnership now with Timber Games. They're not just responsible for the artwork; they will be responsible for. We'll be onboarding them onto our gaming studio. They will be featured on our website. They will be responsible for developing a large portion of the game as well. Now this is really, really exciting for us because they have some fantastic developers that are normally contracted out to huge companies. For example, I'm not allowed to particularly go into detail about who they've worked for because they're under an NDA. But I can say this with a hand on heart. I would say the majority of people, Felix, in this chat have played games that they've been responsible behind the scenes for developing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's honestly, they are absolutely incredible. They're so talented, and I know that if you looked at that Aaron's review on YouTube, judging a book by its cover kind of thing, with them not updating their website so they can't be a good game developer. That's news to me. I'm pretty sure Mavis Studios, no one had a clue who Mavis Studios were. Now look at them, responsible for a multi-billion-dollar
Oh yeah.
game in
Hmm.
Axie. So absolute nonsense. That mentality of, well, I want to see a huge plethora of fantastic games, AAA rated games. You have to realize with that comes an extortionate fee. These top studios that know that they are, out of this world will triple or quadruple their hourly rates and things like that. And what does that do for us? We need to make sure that it's effective, and we need to make sure that the development costs are competitive across the board. So honestly, for us, I can't explain enough how excited I am that they're taking the full helm on this, because we've been trying for around 2 months now, Felix, I think, to
Yeah.
to get them into the firing line of the thick of actual development of the game, and we've actually achieved that now. So it's really, really exciting for the future of Sacred Tales and what we plan to develop. So we're just gonna kind of briefly go over as well. Should we kind of just, maybe there's some people here that don't quite know what the game is, or maybe they've come into the chat through a banner or something and kind of want to understand what the game is. Do you want to kind of give them a quick kind of rundown of what the game will be like, Felix?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. So we definitely took a ton of inspiration, not duplicated, is what I like to say, from just Pokemon, the battle style. When we kind of got together and decided, hey, what did we want to create? It came back to things that we played when we were kids, and not just duplicating it, but maybe making it a little bit more personalized and better. So there's a lot of heavy influence just on the battle style of Pokemon. Obviously, we decided we wanted to go with our Shinsei, and we had a couple things we were going back and forth, but we decided ultimately this was the best route, because the Eevee itself, and what we kind of get the inspiration on, has many different evolved forms and different shapes, and it kind of gave us the idea where we can expand on that, make it a better character, go into way more different elemental types, and now you're going to be able to customize your characters the way that you want to, and just by building your NFT the way you want, and you're going to have different move sets and skill sets that you're going to be able to do. So each one is going to be unique and different from the other. We want to create an entire meta world per se. We want to incorporate a city where trainers or whatever you want to call it can interact with each other. They can meet each other. You can battle with friends. You're going to be able to have land plots where you're going to be able to rent those out and generate, and what is going to provide the player with the best experience, not only to have fun, but to generate income, because everybody's in cryptocurrency, because we all want to make some sort of money or residuals off of this. Aside from our token being a fantastic investment, you're going to be able to rent land plots. You're going to be able to trade at your Shinsei. So we're just get the idea of like a meta world type MMO, Pokemon style, but you are in control of the characters rather than just going out and getting generic ones that are everybody else can get.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can see kind of just the artwork that we have. It's absolutely gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
So
just to add on to that as well, for example, the land plots per se. Wicked. That is service for you. Look at that. Amazing. Just to talk about the land plots, for example. What it means is, for early adopters, if you get in and you have these land plots, you'll be able to build shrines on them. You'll be able to build different elemental type shrines. So what will happen then is it will increase your chances of rarer traits when you breed with your Shinsei. Also, one of the really kind of innovative features on there is that we will have it so people can, if they can't particularly maybe afford the land plot, or they maybe they come in later on or something like that, when the prices can be we've seen the prices of land plots on, for example, Axie. I think one went for over $1.6 million or something like that. What you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go onto other people's land plots and you'll be able to pay them a tribute to use their shrine. So, it's not that paywall that stops people from being able to kind of participate in the benefits and things like that. So what that does is that also provides a really nice extra source of passive income on top of, what you would already be receiving. So yeah, I'm just checking some of the questions as well that I can see. We'll get back to the free ball questions after. I think for now, let's run with some of the questions from Twitter competition. Felix, if you want to take the lead.
Yeah. So if you guys seen the tweet, we had a $250 giveaway. We're going to give $50 to each question that we pick. We went through and kind of found the ones that I think are, they're good for everybody to know. Obviously, there was a lot of good questions, and we want to try to answer them, as best as we can to people. But so I'll get into it. The first question we have is from AJ Guerrero, and he says, will there be other Shinsei that will be released in the market after the legacy sales? Will there be a standard Shinsei for sale, or only way newcomers can get one is to breed Shinsei?
Yeah, that's a good question. So no, the only Shinsei you will be able to mint are our legacy Shinsei, and they're restricted at 6,000 in total. 3,000 upon launch, and we'll be doing each element, new element will be released per month at 500 of each element. After that, the breeding will open, and the only way to get your Shinsei will be through breeding. That takes away all of the kind of control from us. It then becomes a fully open market, which is exactly what we want to happen. There will be a very limited supply of the Shinsei, the legacy Shinsei. So, what it does is it gives a really nice incentive for early adopters to, they're encouraged to come in and purchase the Shinsei, early doors. What that does is also gives us, it gives us, additional funding for development and marketing of the project as we are looking to, push it out on all kind of spectrums. So yeah, it's going to be capped at 6,000. That is the full stop in it. We have 12 elements planned, and it will be only 12 elements. So it will be done through whitelisting, starting next month with the release of Hoardable. You will be able to purchase random eggs. You won't know the element or anything like that of the eggs, so it's completely randomized what you'll get. Obviously, there's the possibilities with our Celestial Shinsei body parts as well, which are only available on Legacy Shinsei. You will not be able to get any Celestial parts through breeding whatsoever. Even if you breed one Celestial type with another one, it won't equal a Celestial body part. So, these kind of early incentives for people to, to get in there, it's really going to raise the floor price of what the Legacy Shinseis will be. And to us, it's important for you guys, we want you to see it as an investment as well. There'll be plenty of monetary gain in terms of, I'm sure people will flip them, I'm sure people will keep them long term. If all you have to do is look at the price of, for example, Origin Axies now, they're ranging in the $10,000 to $15,000 price bracket for some of them more, with the their Mystic body parts. So we do take some inspiration from the greats such as Axie or Pokemon Stadium, to be specific in terms of the kind of vision for the game. I loved playing Pokemon Stadium on N64. It was a fantastic game. The mini games were amazing. That's the kind of thing that we want to integrate in as well. We want those kind of fun mini games where people can kind of play with their friends on them, and that social interaction is really important for us. Obviously, you have the metaverse that's coming thick and fast, and we want to be at the front of that. And I think we're in a perfect position to be. I think it's this year you're going to see a lot happening. You've got Microsoft that have purchased, I think, $70 billion worth of shares in Blizzard Activision. I think it's Blizzard Activision. I'm pretty sure. You've got obviously Facebook, which is now rebranded as Meta. That you see Mark Zuckerberg, the lizard, like pushing it left, right, and center. So I think what we have to do is listen to the money up top, and kind of what's happening really. Which again, how that relates to us is it puts us in the perfect position for one with Sacred Tales and the metaverse aspect of it, and two with Hoardable and what we plan to do with Hoardable. Just kind of a kind of brief touch on Hoardable. What we plan on having is, as things progress with Hoardable, we have the option to have Hoardable shops in other gaming metaverses and things like that, and Sacred Tales and Instinct will always kind of be at that top, associated with Hoardable. So it's really about kind of maximizing publicity of Sacred Tales, and that's kind of a brief kind of summary of everything. What's the question number 2, Felix?
We have question number 2. This one comes from Edwin. Hello. Sorry if I butcher your names, guys. $50. Awesome. Congratulations. In Sacred Tales, there will be 12 elemental types of Shinseis and 5 rarities of all body parts. Will there be a way to give a better chance to get a higher rarity part for advantage of PVP and P2E? Also, will you be able to lend or rent Shinseis and land plots in the future?
Good question. So we touched on that a little bit in terms of the land plots, and when you say about increased chances in breeding, obviously we have the shrines, which are the main focal point of the land plots, which will increase the chances of higher rarity breeding. So that kind of answers that part of it. Could you read that last bit of the question out again, Felix? Sorry.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the last bit was basically, in the future, can you rent Shinsei and land plots?
Okay. Yes. So obviously we have a feature called the Tales Academy. What the Tales Academy does, it's a decentralized platform that we will be building that will enable exactly that. You will be able to rent your Shinseis out, for various amounts of time, whether it's a day, whether it's a week or a month. That will be handled through the contract, so there's no risk of either party. It takes away that aspect of trust that unfortunately is definitely lacking in the crypto space. So for example, if Felix wanted to rent out his Shinseis, I'm someone who wants to get involved. Maybe I don't want to particularly spend a large chunk of money yet. I want to kind of play the game, see how I feel about it. I'll come to the Tales Academy. I'll see Felix has put up 3 Shinsei, for example, for a week, and he wants $100 for that week, for just off the top of my head. I will approve his offer. The contract will then be signed. The Shinsei will automatically be sent over to my account, usable for that period of time, and the money will go straight to Felix, as he doesn't control when the Shinsei come back. It has to wait for that time to expire, and they will automatically come back to him. So Felix gets paid straight away. The holder, the person who wants to use the Shinsei has his Shinsei straight away. He engages with the week, and he can repeat and do that. And if he wants to, he can negotiate a long-term deal with Felix, for example, if he likes using that, and Felix is happy with the contract that they have. So it's a really, really kind of nice formula that we have planned, and we think that the main focus is to make sure that it's playable for all. We don't want to price anyone out and things like that, and we feel like this is one of the ideal scenarios for the investor with the passive income, and obviously for the people that want to get involved in the play to earn aspect of things as well. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Question 3, Sam Carter, congratulations, you won $50. And the question is, investors understandably will appreciate some assurance around the plan now in game release of Q2 to market it successfully. Can you reveal any specific marketing plans in the coming weeks to reach a wider audience of holders and bring in more interest?
Yeah, good question. And I think there's someone in the chat that's been asking about marketing as well. And just to kind of say to you, Scott, like I completely understand you know, your frustrations and things like that. Absolutely. You know, it is a long-term project for us at the end of the day. And, you know, although maybe you might be, you know, down for now, for example, in a week's time or a month's time, that's all going to change, you know. It really is a long play project. And, you know, you can see from the amount of effort and the things that we're doing and the transparency that we have that we're here for the long run. Um, as I mentioned before, the last week has been about ramping up the development teams and getting things engaged, because the real price action comes when the game is ready. You know, you can chuck as much money as you want at marketing, and yeah, you can, you know, we could probably spend 40-50K now and pump up to 5-6 mil possibly using shitty influencers, but that's going to come crashing down. And you know, people are going to take their 2x's and 3x's on that, and you know, we're going to be, you know, there's going to be people who have bought at 6 million, who are going to be irritated by that. So you know, our main goal is sustainable marketing. It's about putting it in front of as many people as possible, and what we've been doing is you know, making sure that our artwork and our banners are fantastic, that we have things to show our investors weekly. You know, the budgets for marketing this week have been zero. That's why obviously the market crash has happened as well to a degree. So, you know, it's almost kind of like setting money on fire, really. People, you know, are being very cautious right now. It's not whether they want to invest in Sacred Tales, it's whether they want their money in crypto altogether. You know, it's worldwide across the whole market. And I think it's a very valid question, Scott. I understand your frustration. I really do, because you know, I'm frustrated as well when I know that what we're building, we know how much passion there is behind it. We know how much like genuine blood, sweat, and tears are put into this, and to get us to where we are now. For example, you know, one of the hardest things is you know, the fact that we actually filled that pre-sale in a market that was ready to crash. You know, it was, you see so many projects, you know, they will put all that time in it, and it breaks my heart. It does, genuinely. I've seen projects a couple of days before us had a pre-sale for a lower hard cap than us. All of this, you know, immense work went into their website, into their project, into their vision. And if you don't hit those caps, the dream is gone. You know, so one of the hardest parts of what we've achieved has already been done. We now have the funding for the game. We now have a healthy budget for marketing. We have a fantastic team behind the project. So you know, to tick that off the checklist is so huge for, you know, what Sacred Tales is, because, you know, let's be real, if we didn't hit that funding cap, Sacred Tales, with all the money that we put into it already, wouldn't have existed. And you know, that cannot go understated how important that is. You know, to you know, it's very easy. People see pre-sales fill up all the time, but you know, the amount of effort, you know, that we literally had sleepless nights, Felix and Glitch and my team. You know, getting everything ready, trying to look after our squids holders from the previous token. There's so many things that come into play, and we had the hard cap of 800 specifically for, you know, the budget that we needed to build the game. We have that. We have the budget for the game, so the game is 100% coming. And that is, to me, one of the most important things. Now, what we have to do is continue that push. We've been working really hard on the visual aspects of the banners. We plan on pumping them out, you know, all over the crypto hemisphere. You know, Coin Sniper, CN token, PooCoin ads, any kind of AA ads, Google ads, things like that. All of the, you know, if you go on IGN.com, I want it so that Sacred Tales is shown on IGN.com when they're looking at a game review. That's what they want, you know. It's that hard work that you have to put in behind the scenes. It's not about chucking money down a hallway at some random influencer that wants $50,000 off you. You know, I'm not prepared to do that. That's not how you run a business. And we're here for the long term, and we're here to protect your money at the end of the day. So I think that answered the question. I don't know how much.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to add to that a little bit too. I mean, guys, we went CMC in 24 hours and CoinGecko right after. We got a lot of investors that are looking for a quick turn of profit. They're not excited about the game, and that's okay. But those are the type of people that you get with a launch. And maybe there's some people sitting here that maybe are just unexperienced in investing in blockchain games or in projects that have a long-term utility. We don't want to have a bunch of our investors lose a ton of money just from other people pumping and taking money away from off the table. I look at this right now as a great entry point because now the people that are here believe in the project, believe in the game, they want to play the game. If you can get in at a market cap like this, I think you're setting yourself up very well for the future. If you look at Axie Infinity's chart, you look at Splinter Land's chart, all of the ones that have a successful game, even, I mean, there's a bunch of them that you can go look, and most of them are on the Ethereum network just because they've been doing it a little bit longer. So we can look at the track record of, what they've done. If you look at Axie Infinity on a marketing standpoint from the launch, they had to acquire their funds through the process. We've already cut that down, so it's going to be a little bit quicker than a 3-year wait like it was for Axie Infinity. But do you think there's some people that are really upset they didn't catch Axie Infinity at $1 million market cap or below that? I mean, it went all the way up over $1 billion, 1.5, maybe close to $2 billion. That's what our goals are for the future. It's not about if this week during a bear market, if we can pump our coin up just to watch it come back down. That doesn't do any good for the team. It doesn't do any good for the long-term holders. We are going to slowly bring you guys the marketing that you deserve. And the marketing is expensive when you want to do long-term marketing and just brand recognition. We have Level Up Expo coming in February. We're going to be traveling the world, explaining, what we do and showing people Sacred Tales. So if you're sitting back there and you're kind of worried about your investment on the first couple weeks of launch, I'm telling you, it's a long-term journey, guys. And if you kind of get some patience, you're going to see a lot of return in the future. And I can confidently tell you that for how hard we work and the studios and partnerships that we're getting. So that's kind of my rant on, the people that are just a little concerned about where the marketing is right now. Well, we have another question. This question, number 4. Let me go ahead and see here. It is Lalico on Twitter. Congratulations, you won yourself $50. Are you worried that when the market is unstable, your project will be difficult to develop during this period? So what will you do, and where does the current income mainly come from? Great question.
I love that question. I think it's a great question, and the reason I love that question is because no, I'm not worried in the slightest. There's not 1% of me that's concerned at all. I'm completely confident, and the beauty of being in a gaming token is that we don't adhere to the general markets. With these meme coins, and that obviously we are linked to BNB, of course, which we will, if BNB goes down, we will of course take a hit with that. But the fact is, it's utility over everything, and the fact is, when people play games, money is not the main priority with a lot of people when they play games. There's a lot of games out there. I think we're all guilty of hitting up Google Play or Apple Play for some extra gems on Clash of Clans or something like that, right? It's just that joy of playing together, that camaraderie of that being in a clan together and things like that. And it's our release, isn't it? For a lot of us, it's the world can suck sometimes, and games are there to help you kind of, I don't want to say escape reality as such, but they're there to bring you joy. When maybe there isn't so much joy in the world sometimes, without getting kind of too deep on things. But especially with what's happened with COVID, a lot of people's mental health was probably saved by playing games. That kind of social interaction that people could have in MMOs and or whatever kind of games they play. There's always some kind of social level or interaction to it. And when people are forced to stay in and stay at home, at least with the technology we have these days, that people can stay in touch with each other, and things like that are really important for like mental health, and that's why the gaming industry is growing rapidly every single day, every single year. It's here to stay. It's going to get even more kind of interactive in terms of that Ready Player One kind of scenario. The more that time goes on, the more that I see technology improving, the more that's becoming less kind of science fiction and more reality, really. I don't particularly know how I feel about people being fully immersed in VR and stuff like that. I think there is obviously a balance that needs to be had, of course. But Felix is like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna spend my entire life in,
I play
in
Oculus.
VR.
I love it.
I actually know
So my eyes
stories
look
of
like this. Playing with Oculus.
I know people who actually sleep in VR because of their insomnia. I've seen actual things about people
That's
sleeping
crazy.
in like Roblox and things like that because they can like it helps them for some reason. I mean, that's not something I'd ever
That's crazy.
recommend, but it's wild, right?
Yeah.
And that is our future, regardless of it's not a outlandish prediction that that's going to happen. It most certainly is going to happen, and I think everyone can see that coming in. And
Definitely.
we're at that point where we're in the golden age of blockchain and blockchain gaming. Sorry, someone's talking about some getting distracted by the chat. We're at that point where we are literally at the infancy of blockchain gaming. It's like I was speaking to our co-founder Glitch of Instinct and Audible. We were talking about back in like the 2000s when like RuneScape and World of Warcraft are really flying out there. That's you're going to see those huge kind of surges and almost cult-like followings for a lot of these games and stuff like that. And I think that's really important for Audible as well, because I think storefronts in metaverses and things like that are going to be the new kind of hottest property. Being able to rent store space to be able to sell your NFTs and things like that. So I think having that kind of all that technology behind us in our own company, having a standalone NFT marketplace in our possession in our company, is probably one of the smartest investments. Obviously, I'm biased and I'm going to think my investments are smart, right? But I do genuinely believe for the future of Instinct and Sacred Tales to have that firepower behind us is going to be absolutely game changing, and it puts us in a new spectrum of brand familiarity. I kind of want to actually just talk about that quickly as well. What I want to talk about quickly, we can jump on the last two questions in a minute, Felix, but I just wanted to talk about Audible and why that will benefit Sacred Tales. Now, it's a little bit complicated, and I want to explain it as clear and as simple as possible. What you have to think about is that with Audible, we can onboard any kind of gaming token. It will be fully cross-chain, so we will be integrating Ethereum, Solana, etc. It will start off on Binance Smart Chain to start with, but what you will see is there are lots of different, blockchain games either already out or their pre-sales have successfully launched and they're currently building their games. Now, what what you need to think about is that they need to sell their NFTs to their obviously their holders, their investors. Now, to set up a third party, their own Web3 style NFT marketplace, even at the kind of lowest budgets, you're looking at around between $25 to upwards to around $50,000 at like a bare minimum. And that is just on having the ability to sell their NFTs to their holders. Now, what Audible does is it completely erases that. It makes it so that we can onboard these projects instantly. They will pay a fee to list with us, they will be KYC'd, and they will also go on to our decks when we bring that out in version 2. So what that does is it creates an open marketplace for these gaming tokens, and it brings in thousands of holders instantly as soon as one is onboarded, right? So why does that benefit Sacred Tales? Well, one, obviously you'll be able to purchase NFTs with Sacred Tales token, which gives it that use case that tokens so desperately need, right? So your tokens you'll be able to use to purchase NFTs. It's as simple as that. It gives them a real use case. Now, the second one, and it's a little bit more complicated to explain, is that if people are, for example, if we've brought people over from, let's make up a token right now. Let's call it beer. Beer token has got an NFT game. I just looked at my beer, so that's my example. So beer token's got an NFT game. They on board with us now. Their thousands of holders are then funneled through to Hoardable to buy their NFTs with. They can use their beer tokens to purchase their NFTs with. So now they are technically customers of Hoardable. They're now using it, and they have with that brand familiarity of using Hoardable. Now, then what happens is they find out that Sacred Tales and Instinct. Sorry, someone's just throwing me off. Sacred Tales and Instinct are developed by the same company that has built Hoardable. Now, you've already used Hoardable. So that kind of trust barrier that you have in terms of using a product for the first time, they're already familiar with using Audible. They're already familiar with using our company. They like the platform. So if you like the platform, you're more inclined to look at what else they've done. If you've played a game that's developed by Bethesda and you really enjoy it, you're going to look at maybe some other games that Bethesda have done and think, well, I like the way they do things here, so maybe I'm going to try out them. And that's exactly how Sacred Tales will benefit, kind of in a second-hand, in a passive way. I don't know if I've explained that very well, Felix. You have to let me know.
No, I think you did great.
Yeah.
And honestly, it kind of leads us into our next question perfectly. So this is from Laura. Congratulations, Laura. $50 going your way. Laura is very bullish on this project, but something I'd like to know is, how are you going to balance the focus with Sacred Tales, with the work the team is doing on Instinct and Hoardable, and making sure one doesn't take the priority over another?
That's a good question. The main thing here to think about is that they all benefit each other. When one does well, the rest of them will be pulled up by that success. The fact is that, like I mentioned before with Hoardable, about brand recognition and people feeling comfortable using a service and a product, it's essential to us to make sure that our products are fantastic. Hoardable is going to be coming out next month. The proof is in the pudding in terms of, are we going to develop or are we going to deliver? Well, next month you'll be using Hoardable. And to me, that shows that we deliver on our promises and that we provide services. But it's not just that we provide them; is that we excel and that we constantly push that that innovation to create something new and fresh. Sacred Tales and Instinct are both developed by different companies completely. They have different teams managing them. Hoardable team is being assembled as we speak by a completely different project management, completely different from Sacred Tales and Instinct. So they're all going to be running, but obviously overseen, by myself and our team, to make sure that everything is on track and we stick to that kind of brand and vision. So I do understand when people say, oh wow, managing a couple of projects, that's kind of a bit risky. What about if you favor one over the other, or maybe your focus is taken away from another one? And I completely get that, but the fact is that the development is handled by two different firms completely entirely. It's my prerogative to make sure that everything is on track and everything is following the vision that we have, and making sure all of the kind of cogs in the machine are running smoothly. So no, there's no concern at all, and I think it's a massive benefit, if anything, really.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I mean, you can imagine, how many employees these studios have. So if you think about the personnel that's totally, that's involved with everything, I mean, it's got to be 100+ people that are working on our projects. And obviously, our community managers and everything has been helping out in the chats. And we have dedicated people that, handle each project. We strategize these things for a reason, and we're always looking to expand, definitely, personnel mods and stuff like that. But honestly, our guys put in so much work on the floor. it's amazing to me. So I'm never worried about if one's going to get more attention than the other because our team is strong, it's big. We have dedicated jobs and goals to everybody, and they do them like perfectly well. So no, that was a great point. So I think that gets through all the questions. We had 5 questions. So again, if you guys answered or asked a question on Twitter, we didn't get to it, you can always shoot us a
I
message.
think we got
We're
one
going to be
more.
doing giveaways every week.
I think we
No,
had
I
one.
think we got. I think we
Was that all
ran through them.
5?
Let me just double check. We got AJ Guerrero, got his. We got Edwin Halam. We answered him. Sam Carter, Lalico, and
Oh,
Laura. So that's
okay.
our 5.
All right. So I think as well, what we'll do now before we spin that magic wheel is let's kind of look at the live chat and see if there's any kind of questions that people have live for us that we can answer. Scott, did you want to ask your question again, mate? Because I can see that you keep asking a question. So if I can answer it for you, I'm happy to do so. If you want to type in your question again, Scott Style 97, I'll do my best to answer for you.
I've seen a question. Someone was asking me what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my computer screen, and my camera is right here. So I'm trying to first stream, guys. Come on, cut me some break.
Okay, Scott, when is the marketing push? Yes, so the final banners that we're currently optimizing, unfortunately, PooCoin have got about a limit of 700 KB, which I don't know if you know anything about sizes, it's absolutely ridiculous. So if you checked in the pin chat, we've been working really hard on the visual aspects this week. It's important for us if we're going to push out $2,000-$3,000 budgets per day. It's important for our product to be presented well as well. So the banner will be finalised tomorrow. After that, we will be obviously assessing the market, and we will be pushing out a budget on the PooCoin banners from probably tomorrow evening, if not Sunday morning. We've got to be a little bit careful in terms of the current market. We have to respect the kind of current market that we're in, and kind of adjust the budgets accordingly. We will be pumping out banners on Google Ads as well for the various different sites like IGN.com and all of that kind of stuff. PooCoin banners, of course. We're in talks with Coin Sniper. We've got the bottom banner, which is literally mandatory, which means every single person that goes onto Coin Sniper will have to click off that. I believe that's booked in for the 1st of February. That's the earliest we could get on them. The Dex Tools banner, unfortunately, is booked up till July. I would have happily spent the $18,000 on that week of banner pushes on there. Mm-hmm. However, the alternatives on Dex Tools, for example, they don't do us justice. I feel like it's got to be very kind of visual. We are currently launching a push notification campaign on Coin Sniper, which starts tomorrow morning as well. We will be relisting on the sponsored slots on CN Token for our China marketing. The Coin Sniper promoted coin section, of course, and the banners. In the meantime, while we wait for that bottom banner, which is going to be really impactful, because when you go on, for example, Coin Sniper, sometimes you have to do 20 clicks to see our banner. With this one, every single click, every single person who goes through that will see that, and we're really kind of proud of our visual aspect. So yeah, in terms of marketing pushes, it will be mainly kind of banner promotions, visual kind of things. We'll be looking to do some follow-up PR articles as well, kind of talking about the game development, the 3D modeling, and things like that. But yeah, as I said, it's a really difficult market at the moment, and the last thing we want to do is waste money, especially. You have this balance of this marketing budget that you have according to the volume that you currently have, right? And it's this kind of steady balance of making sure that that the budgeting and the marketing that we do brings back that money as well, so we can kind of keep it going 24/7, which I think a lot of tokens overlook. So it's not about who can shout the loudest, it's who can speak for the longest kind of thing.
Right.
And that's our goal. We're here for the long term, so there's no need to pump out ridiculous money on a one-hit wonder and pray that it works, because what if it doesn't? What if we spend $30,000 in 1 week, we blow the entire budget, and it doesn't work, and we don't get that money back? That's what we have to think about. It has to be run like a business. We're in the chats, we're transparent, we'll always be there with you guys. We'll always be happy to answer any questions if you need. If you feel like you want to know a specific thing about the development and it's not been spoken about on there, you'll feel free to message any of our team. I can happily show you some 3D modeling that we're working on and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's really about sticking together here, and realizing that we're here to look after you guys. See, Rudy Tor, Mr. Actually Love Pokemon banner was great marketing. And that is going to be one of the main points of our new banner. We're not getting rid of that. It's so catchy, and it's true as well. Another question, Felix, did you want to grab it?
Yeah, no, I'll answer one. And also, I want to add, we are promoted token on bot finance, and that costs quite a bit of money, and it's going to be up for a long time. So we want to always spend our money where we're going to see the longest effects from it. So you can run a banner, you can have an influencer give you a tweet, and it's important right now in the next 20 minutes. But we want to get a deal going that's going to extend it out for months. That's a much better idea, But let's go ahead and take a question. Do you plan to expand whole lore idea, maybe adding in-game at some point, some villain creatures or some trainer roles, also a trading card game, animated series? I mean, you're talking about things that are definitely, a dream, to be able to have like an animated series. And I think there's all kinds of possibilities when we start getting into something like this. We definitely want to have a story mode in our game. We're not going to be able to release a story right away. We're going to have the PvP right away, but we're going to lead you guys into a nice story. We're very good at writing lore. I know Josh has got a great mind for that, and so does Glitch, and some of our other team actually. So I definitely going to see a really nice story mode and an animated series down the line. We're always going to explore our options as far as partnerships, definitely.
Yeah, I was actually, I know this isn't directly related to Sacred Tales as such, but I'm actually in discussions with, getting a storyboard done for Instinct at the moment with our anime that we've got over there. So with the storyboard, we plan to, actually release an episode for Instinct as well. So these things are really on our radar. My first port of call with Sacred Tales is to get a cinematic trailer done. I'm waiting for the 3D modeling to be at a good stage where I can then say to Timber Games, hey, it's time to ramp shit up now. We want a cinematic trailer. We want that everywhere. We want that all over streamers, platforms. We want to sponsor these streamers and have these things played on their videos and things like that. It's going to be someone's posting Bobby Bybot buys, which is cool. Honestly, my unlucky little kid at heart, honestly, my imagination has never kind of changed really from growing up, and I'm kind of glad that it hasn't, because it's enabled me to be in the driving seat for something like this. And of course, you guys have made that reality possible. So I will always stay humble into the sense of without you guys, none of this would have been possible. That's when I feel your frustrations as well, because at the end of the day, we wouldn't be here without you. And I will listen to you guys when you're feeling down, when you're feeling up. We'll always be here. Some conversations won't necessarily be easy, but there will also be a lot of joy in our journey together as well. And all I can do is just say, this game, it comes from without getting kind of too deep into it. It comes from the heart. This is a big thing to all of us. The things that we're building here, we're building for our legacy, and you guys are here with us, supporting us. And there's going to be FUD. There's going to be some uncertainty at times. The market is up and down, and there's going to be dips on the graph, there's going to be pumps on the graph, and it's really important. I know that you'll be frustrated at times, but Our messages are always open. If you feel like you need a chat, you can do so. We're here to support you guys as well. We don't want anyone to overextend. We want people to be responsible in their investments. And yeah, we just really, really excited for the future. You know, it's a great honor.
Definitely. Well, we are 1 hour in.
I think it's
right
time
now.
to spin the wheel, right?
I think we've got to spin it.
Yeah. What are you guys saying? Should we spin the wheel? I'm not seeing anything in the chat right now. Everyone's sleeping.
Magic wheel time.
Come on.
Ruby knows.
Who's here? Come on, let's hear you. I want to see that chat spammed. Make me feel like a Twitch streamer. All right. Can you guys see that wheel in all its glory?
The glory wheel.
Just to confirm, can you guys see the wheel, yeah? I think they can. So, we have our 5 top buys. These diamond whales have not sold a single cent. The wallets ending 3599, 4723, 7B84, CDA5, and last but not least 4F32. So guys, this is for $1,000 BUSD, and do you know what? I'm gonna chuck in a second place right now off the cuff, $100. Why not?
There we go.
Come on. You feeling that?
Good luck, guys.
All right. So this is for first place, guys. Oh, it changed at the last minute. Who do we have? Congratulations for F32 for your $1,000 in BUSD. Please, please, please send myself or Felix a DM. Obviously, we are going to thoroughly verify you. Amazing, well done. We're going to remove that, and now this is for second place. So $100 BUSD. Hey, this is free money, right? So you can't complain. Here we go. Good luck, guys. Who's it going to be? The 2 blues. Congratulations, 3599. You are the second lucky winner of tonight.
Awesome job, guys.
All right.
We love that. We're going to continue to do giveaways like this. We also gave away the $250 for the questions. So I will be reaching out to you guys on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and I'll post the winners as well. We really appreciate you guys coming alongside us on Twitch. We want to continue to do these weekly. We're going to try to improve on it. So if you have anything that you want to add, or things we should change, let us know. We plan on doing backgrounds, and maybe we're going to do like game nights. You know what I mean? I said game nights, and give you guys a chance to kind of interact with us. Give you guys a chance to interact with us a little bit more, see the video games that we play. I think that would be a lot of fun. So we want to continue to get this, everything ramped up on Twitch. It looks like we have 59 followers at the moment, 162 views, 35 current viewers. So hopefully next week we'll get those numbers up. Tell your friends, to come in and join us. Hopefully some of these streamers are, coming in and seeing what we're doing. But it really means a lot to us. We appreciate having you guys, and I'm sorry about the delay, the 1-day delay from yesterday. But we had some technical issues.
It was worth the wait. It was worth
everything.
The wait.
It was worth it. Yeah. And hopefully, everything improves and we can grow this community together. And we're doing it for you guys. So we appreciate every single one of our holders and supporters.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll catch you back in the chat.